Are you looking for something to replace The Office in your life?
Wow, this is my lucky day.
Ask him his name. What is your name, sir?
Well, Upload, Amazon Prime's newest show, is not it. I mentioned The Office because Greg Daniels, the guy who co-developed The American Office and co-created Parks and Recreation and King of the Hill, individually created Upload. It's a lot of creating going on. I've seen Parks and Rec and The Office to the point where I can melt the dialogue, so I thought this new series, Upload, could save me from my endless cycle of binge-watching shows I've already consumed.
Leslie, I typed your symptoms into the thing up here and it says you could have network connectivity problems.
I mean, it got an 8.3 on IMDb, so how bad could it be? Then I watched it. The best way to describe the first season would be roller coaster of meh. Upload is set in a near-distant future where it's commonplace to upload, the name of the show, your consciousness into a paid digital world as you're about to die. It follows Nathan, whose girlfriend Ingrid pressures him to forego potentially life-saving surgery after a car crash and instead scan himself, aka kill himself, to live forever in one of these afterlives. Like an internet Sims version of heaven.
Okay, well, it's supposed to be heaven.
How is that heaven?
Inside the world, him and his customer service rep Nora begin to fall in love as Nathan and Ingrid's relationship falls apart. There's also a murder mystery and Nora's dad's dying, but that's the gist of what you need to know. It all feels like someone was trying to make their own version of The Good Place with crazy characters and thoughtful commentary, but didn't know what they were doing. Before I get into the bad stuff, which is abundant, let's talk about what I liked. First off, there were a couple of funny moments. They were few and far between, but they existed and they made me laugh. So point for Daniels. Good job.
What?
Second, while I may have the monotone vocal stylings of a robot, I am surprisingly not one and sincerely enjoy a good love story.
I love him.
And once you get past the rougher bits of the show, damn, this is a cute one. The chemistry between Nora and Nathan and watching the relationship grow was exciting and cute. It's been a long time since I've seen something that gave me butterflies and reminded me of how great it feels to fall in love. Upload replicated that experience well. And as a single woman in her mid-20s living in the time of COVID and social distancing, it was a nice break from the isolation. By the way, I'm aware that statement is a little personal, but I think a lot of us are going through that right now, so just know that if you're in that boat, you're not alone. But yeah, cute love story. I'm glad I watched it for that.
I just feel like I need to get this out. I think about you a lot.
The mystery element even worked. I legit could not predict most of what was gonna happen. Maybe it's because there was no foreshadowing to pay off, or I'm not good at mysteries, or whatever. All I know is that I was on my toes and nothing was obvious. But the thing is, all the stuff that worked only worked after the first 3 to 4 episodes of this 10-episode season. It seemed like there were two completely different halves with different tones. The second bit felt a lot more put together than the first couple episodes. In the beginning, I thought I was watching a downplayed stoner comedy where they took someone's mixtape and set it to unnecessary sequences. Almost like the writers or director were trying to convince millennials to watch the show because it had music we like with silly moments. This stupid simplicity also translated to the characters. When I started watching, the cast was populated with a bunch of monsters. Like the boss who refuses to give Nora her employee discounts so her dying dad can get into the afterlife.
You need a 4.6 employee rating to qualify for that discount. Right now you're at 4.598, so.
Or these people who straight out call a less affluent little girl a pig for eating a normal amount of food.
You can give mine to the little piggy.
Or Nathan's friend who hits on Ingrid at Nathan's funeral. They're all terrible. And not even charmingly terrible like in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
You're a master of karate and friendship for everyone.
They're just evil. Thankfully, these were only side characters. And while they don't improve, at least most of our main characters do. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, even our lovebirds are downright jerks. Starting with Nora. In the first few episodes, she's a static, uptight rock, but the writers try to convince us that that's likable, and she's better than everyone and knows it. Key jerk moments for Nora include using her middle finger as her fingerprint ID at work, or how she steals her boss's coffee because her boss is evil, as we discussed.
It's a non-fat iced latte. It says my name on it, Lucy, Lucy. Has anyone seen it?
I get it. The person you work for is a witch, like everyone else in this godforsaken show. But taking her food isn't ballsy or cool. It's petty. Be the bigger and smarter person that you believe you are with your speeches about obscure history that solely exists to make you look like a nerdy genius.
You agree with Neil Bigley?
Who's Neil Beagley?
He was a 16-year-old boy who died of a fucking UTI because he refused medical treatment for religious reasons.
She starts to warm up through the rest of the show, but these intro moments left a bitter taste in my mouth about her character, especially since she never becomes particularly charismatic. Moving on to Nathan, he's a special type of jerk. In the first couple episodes, outside of Smooth Talker, Nathan's sole personality trait is that he's narcissistic. He looks at himself while driving motorcycles or dancing with children. He's constantly touching his hair. He talks about how attractive he is.
Great body, great face, great hair.
And at his funeral, the only thing his ex-girlfriends remember about him is that he's good looking and vain. It's non-stop. This vanity fades away and has no bearing on the rest of the story, but it makes no sense why they would include it in the first place. It's unnerving. However, once you get past it, he is a cute, charming guy with a slight awkward side.
You gotta be breaking the rules or something, because I'm sure you're not supposed to keep giving me 5 stars for nothing.
Or maybe that's just my girl brain talking, because, you know, he's so dreamy. That was sarcasm, by the way. At least the writers got rid of those questionable traits in the main characters, because they apparently forgot to for one of the larger secondary people, Ingrid, Nathan's girlfriend. One moment she looks like she's treating Nathan's 12-year-old niece as sexual competition, the next she invites the niece over for a fun sleepover. Through the entire thing, I couldn't tell if I was supposed to like Ingrid or not like her, or if she was just a big dumb idiot character. Segue. Speaking of big dumb idiots, the show treats its audience like no one would get anything if they didn't spell out details for them. Instead of show don't tell, Upload opts to use 3 alternative methods of exposition. 1, they point blank tell you details about the story, world, and motivation.
Okay, yes, she's a little entitled and she can be kind of phony sometimes. But she's my girlfriend.
2, they show exaggerated details about the characters and the world that are so obvious they may as well have just blurted them out.
I don't know who you are, Henry, but I dream about you almost every night.
We get it, you're a romantic and you like 50 First Dates, lay off it. And 3, they combine the show and tell rule to do something new that I'm gonna coin right now called the show then tell principle.
You can't just have your characters announce how they feel! That makes me feel angry!
This is where a character uses actions to convey their thoughts, but then says those thoughts out loud immediately after.
It can be really hard to die. I mean, especially when you're young and hence, healthy.
Like, why are you randomly looking at a picture of you and your parents when only you and your dad are together? Is it because your mom's dead? Oh yeah, your dad just said it 2 seconds later. And is your dad sick? Of course he is. He can't stop coughing and you just said he was dying. I needed those repeat beats. Thank you so much. But getting out of that, there are also other things that make you think that they're obvious and important, but they go nowhere. A couple of quick examples because this is what this video has become. They mention Nathan's runaway dad once and never talk about it again. This private detective storyline ends and nobody acknowledges it. Nora's obsession with 50 First Dates doesn't pop up in their romantic story or thematically. In the first episode, Nora has a roommate that doesn't exist past that, but her bed's still in the apartment. There's way more, but I'll leave you with that list for now. Instead of touching more on these seemingly important details, they take that time to bash you over the head with the show's message. Let's play a game. I'll roll you some clips of Upload. Picture what you think the message is, then I'll guess what you're imagining. Remember, theme is subjective, so any individual element can mean different things to different people.
You like iron? Buy some spinach.
In-app purchase? 2 gigs?
Yeah, they only get 2 gigs of data a month. And once they run out, they can't afford anything.
You got your thought? I'm guessing you thought the theme was that the corporatization of America is bad. I'm right, aren't I? You want to know how I could read your mind? Because the premise wasn't subtle. The writers constantly shove it down your throat like you're a goose in a foie gras factory. By the way, I know that's a gross reference, let's just move past it. It's almost like they're saying, did you forget about our corporatization message? Oh, well, here's a Taco Bell ad.
Nokia Taco Bell. It's the virtual gordita crunch.
You forgot again? Bang, Amazon package. They leave you no room to think or interpret the material. It's one of the many sci-fi pieces that pretend they're saying something new or making you aware of the world's fallacies, but they're just shoveling old stuff into your faces. The message is especially weird considering Upload is an Amazon Prime series, and these sponsorships they add into the story are most likely real-world sponsorships for the show. So while the Upload creative team may think they're fighting the system, it probably only serves to exacerbate the problem they're addressing. Again, this thought baseball bat becomes less wooden and more foam as the season progresses, but it doesn't disappear. Anyway, overall, Upload is okay. It's hard to get past the first few episodes, but once you accept the more stupid elements, it has its moments. Nathan and Nora are no Pam and Jim or Leslie and Ben, but their love story makes it worth seeing if you want to be excited watching love blossom in an innocent and relatable way. And that's why I'm giving this show a 6 out of 10. Decent and worth your time, but only if you have nothing else to see and you want to turn your brain off. In summary, don't expect Upload to be your new Parks and Rec or The Office. And that's my review of the series. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, and if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe and/or donate to my Patreon. The link is in the description below. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.